The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tokucast Reviews, episode number 175. Today we are reviewing Angst.
Yeah.
By that I mean Kikaider, the animation, and Kikaider 01, the animation.
Yeah. It has an opening that's really just instrumental, so I'm not really talking about
It does.
It's fine. Both of these, however. Do you like melodrama? Do you like being angsty at any and all times of the day? Are you sad? Are you glad? Who cares? You're sad now. That is this show. Both of them. It's like, I don't understand the point half of the time. I feel like if you're going to have at least some melodrama, you got to have a little bit of fun with it. There was none of that to be found in this. It was just like, what if we just question existence consistently and then talk about joy? And I think the worst part about this is the fact that they never really lean into the robot nature of it, like the Kikaider movie did, the most recent one, where Kikaider was a lot more robotic, and I really think that's sort of the way that you...
No, Jiro in this show is just a dude. Just a very angsty dude who happens to be a robot.
Yeah. He's like, I don't understand emotion.
I don't understand emotions. What is this? Why am I here? What is going on? I'm so sad. I tried to kill her. She doesn't like me. Angst.
Also, as of filming this, May the 4th be with you. And when this comes out, Revenge of the 5th. So, yeah. Anyway, Star Wars. That's sort of why I'm wearing this shirt today.
There you go.
Star Wars. I would have rather watched that. I actually really like the Star Wars movies for the first 6.
Yeah, same.
Barring Jar Jar. I say the first 6 on purpose.
Fair enough.
But this is just like melodrama, angst, melodrama, angst, angst and melodrama. A little bit of sadness. Also sex with a robot.
That happens. Jiro and...
They lampshaded the hell out of that. What the hell was that? Also, why?
Apparently he was built anatomically correct.
Was he? Because I think once he took his shirt off and everything below his neck, it's just like robot body.
Well, that or they just didn't draw it in. Or they found some other way to do it.
Also, the fact that Rita Repulsa was the younger brother.
Yeah, that was Barbara Goodson.
Yeah.
Barbara Goodson in anime dubs voices a lot of young boys. She's got the kind of range for that.
Wish I had the range to get away from this show.
I hated that character so much.
I
hated the little brother so much.
There.
Every freaking scene every scene that character is in, it's just yelling and whining and crying and being annoying. And the episode with the twins and the bear where he's yelling at Jiro to stop killing my friends despite them trying to kill Jiro, and you're an idiot. No, they're not going to listen to you. That's not how this works.
Mitsuko, you were supposed to come and read to me tonight, and I couldn't go to sleep, and I'm sad, and everybody left today.
In one take like that is not an exaggeration.
No, not at all.
The script for the show is terrible, and I think what I want to get to at the core of the matter is with this show is it is a problem with the way the Japanese tell stories.
I don't think it's a problem.
I think it is.
I think it's a problem with the source material because of what Kikaider was in the 70s. And they tried to stick so close to that with the Gemini circuit and the flute playing, which they still never really explained why.
No, hot cross buns, still the bane of existence.
And I think also think it's just a problem with me really not liking Kikaider.
That probably doesn't help.
No, but I'm sitting here like, I wish there were things.
This was their chance to make you like Kikaider.
No, and it still didn't do it. I like the style of it because they kept it in that 70s anime style where everything was really round. I actually honestly like that. Very Astro Boy-esque. But here, I think the issue lies in Kikaider's story. The Gemini circuit, once again, if they keep saying a word, it loses all meaning.
Because again, it's like Gemini circuit. What is that? Oh, it's like Gemini. I mean, Liza P flashback here, but like Gemini. It's the conscience. It's his consciousness circuit,
and it's stupid because it also makes it weird because they make a point of saying that every other robot doesn't have that except for him. But a lot of the robots...
But some of the robots just kind of have emotions and can still, like, make decisions on their own.
The Bat.
I was going to say the vampire guy. Like, his whole episode is just him, like, waxing philosophical endlessly about emotions and things and choices and blah, blah, blah. And
he wants to wax poetic, and man, he will do it. I honestly think that the best character in this show was the mother. For the 5 minutes that she was on the screen before she shot herself.
Go on.
She had a little bit more, I guess, bitchiness about her, which honestly really helped in giving at least a little bit more depth to her character because she was so bitter.
She had a personality that wasn't just...
Yeah. It was very, I hate you and everything you stand for.
Let me say this. It's not that she had a personality, it's that her character had levels.
Yeah.
She had because when we first meet her in show and then like when she's reunited with Mitsuko later on, she does have like a warm motherly presentation that she puts up.
Yeah.
And it's the way she is played, the way she is written, it is like pretty convincing.
Yeah. Especially
since Mitsuko knows that's like what she was connected with Professor Gill, such and such. And the way she turns that off and switches into that other side of herself.
Yeah.
And then the way she, eventually loses that part and winds up taking her own life. Like, yeah, I can see why you think that was the most interesting part.
Yeah. So you're like, she was there for about an episode, maybe an episode and a half. And then she shot herself and that was the end of it. This is also around the time, because I think he gets introduced 2 episodes later. We get introduced to Kikaider in this show.
Yeah, voiced by Steve Bloom.
Yeah. A lot of people you'll recognize in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a who's who of anime regulars from the early 2000s.
Yeah, this is just one of those ones where I'm just like, once again, has the same problem that it had from the original show. Underutilized Kikaider.
He's barely in this, yeah.
And it's just like, Kikaider's the most interesting thing in the original show. There's a reason why he got his own movie. And then there's
it was good. I liked it.
It looked good. It had a lot of things I liked.
Jesus Town.
But yeah, it's just like, it gets real stupid the further along the show goes.
Yeah.
And it gets annoying. You can watch this all on YouTube, by the way. You can watch both this and the OVA, the English dubs on YouTube.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just like the further... Speaking of the OVA, the characters in the show don't matter. Bar Jiro. He's the only one who sticks around.
Jiro sticks around, but it also seems to completely ignore the events of Kikaider. And by that I mean the Kikaider, the anime. Because the show ends, and Kikaider is just kind of walking off into the distance, and they're like, don't worry, maybe he'll come back someday after our night of passionate lovemaking. And then I guess he just forgets them. Yeah. And then Kikaider 01 happens, and it's like, hey, what if death for all the characters?
That was the most annoying thing, because you introduced 01.
Yeah.
You introduced...
And he sucks.
He doesn't have a conscious circuit, but man doesn't seem like he has one.
He doesn't have a conscious circuit. He has smart ass circuit.
Yeah.
He's just a dick.
That's his default, which is a complete opposite from the original character who's just positive to a fault.
This Kikaider certainly isn't, though.
Yeah.
He's angsty to a fault.
Back to the original. Well, I'm talking about Kikaider 01.
I know.
Himself, but back to the anime really quickly. It's just we end up hitting a lot of the same beats that we got from the show proper. Dr. Gil gets taken out by Saburo. For some reason, man with no brain can live. And we can put brain back.
Yeah, why not? It's easy. Like putting a Band-Aid on a scrape.
Hop, skip, and scalpel away.
Yep. Jinder's there.
But Jinder comes in the OVA.
And is like, I'm evil. Wait, maybe I'm not evil. I guess I'm not evil.
I have
dead.
a twin. I have a twin who's also made from Dr. Komiyoji's blueprint. And we made these other 2 Kikaiders beforehand, but we're going to kill them off immediately. I think that was the thing that sort of pissed you off the most.
Who were those 2 that just randomly showed up?
You got 0-1.
Who the heck were those guys? They had like 1 or 2 lines of dialogue. They are never properly introduced. They are never properly set up. They show up and then they just immediately die.
They give something to 0-1 just like, oh, he was made just in case, like a contingency.
I don't know, someone spilled coffee on Kikaider,
yeah,
so...
something happened and it's just like, he's your older brother.
Oy
vey. And then you have Ray, who's 00. And, you know, I honestly do like their designs and everything. I think that the biggest issue was the fact that we don't spend any time with them before Kikaider kills them. Like, they get turned evil. Kikaider kills them both. The Jinder gets turned evil, but she ends up saving a little boy who's like the core to everything for some reason.
I guess so.
Akira was that whole...
there's like a single mom and the kid, and...
Turns out the single mom was a robot.
Yeah, turns out I was a robot too this whole time. We boop, beep, boop.
And the Jinder is just like, oh, we're the same. And then she gets killed. In honestly a sort of brutal way. I mean, goddamn. She gets just shot through the heart and everything in the forest. And I'm like, well.
Yep. But
yeah, like the fact that they're doing this whole thing centered around this kid. If the kid was a robot, I think I would have accepted it more. Instead of no emotions. That's the entire premise of both of these.
I have to get back to my original point. You say no emotions. No emotions. There is a certain way that the Japanese have of telling stories that really, really bothers me sometimes, wherein we're focused less on characters, we're focused less on the story, and we are instead going to focus on themes, ideas, emotions, and like getting an emotional rise out of you. And this show is an example of that.
Yeah.
It is very much just like so many shots of just Jiro being miserable and just like, I did horrible things. I almost killed Mitsuko. And then like we cut to like some puppets in a toy store window and a little girl is like, Mommy, why aren't the puppets talking? Well, darling, they're puppets. Puppets can't talk or feel. Why, Mommy? Why can't the puppets talk or feel? Well, that's just the way things are, honey. They're puppets. And then just like rack focus to Jiro. I am a puppet. I'm a puppet. Like he doesn't actually say this, but it's just like his face and he's just like, I'm a puppet. I've got no, and I don't beep boop, and it's just the worst.
Always, Pinocchio.
I wonder if Pinocchio was an influence on this story, Marcus. What do you think? I'm not sure because they only mention it about 958 quadrillion times. I'm not sure if Pinocchio was an influence on this story. Goodness gracious. It's awful.
It's really not good.
Ugh.
I honestly think, especially the OVA, because I'm saying, like, if you're going to name it 01, have 01 be your focus character. Instead, it's just Jiro's story, but more. And Jiro's not an interesting enough a character to follow. So,
getting back to what you said about the art design, I do think that if you look at whether it's this, whether it shows like the Tetsujin 28 reboot or Giant Robo, Day the Earth Stood Still, any show like this that is adapting manga from the 70s or 80s, and the way that style translates to anime is usually really good.
Yeah.
And I think this is no exception. I think the character designs are the best thing this thing has going for it.
I will say something though. just going off at that point. For some reason, the last 2 episodes of the OVA, their animation quality and like, I guess the quality of the art itself gets toned down for some reason. I know, like, it was really stark between episodes 1 and 2, 3, and 4 of the OVA. For some reason, it's just like it gets worse.
Could have been a money situation.
Maybe they ran out of money and plot, so
they didn't have a plot to begin with.
Yeah, the plot was kill everybody. Ray was there, and then he wasn't. And I'm sitting here like, you have a whole third Kikaider and don't do anything with him.
Truly, if you blinked, you would never know he was in the show. If you looked away from the screen at the right time, there might be a moment where you were like, what's that? I thought I heard the voice of Crispin Freeman, but no, it must have been my imagination. You look away at the right time, you will miss he is in this show.
You got a whole third Kikaider and don't do anything with him. Like, at least the 01 has a personality of cocky bastard. But this one specifically is the most robotic out of all of them because he was a prototype. And you don't do anything with the character. You just kill him so quickly. And it's so frustrating because I felt like we could have done something with them.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
No, we did not.
So we end up getting, unfortunately, all of this show. And Bajender is there, just like,
and then she isn't.
I'm the hot girl. And I do all the fighting, and she's cool. And then she dies.
Yep. Leaving no impact whatsoever. But I think that'll wrap it up for us.
Yeah, this was not good.
This was awful. It was atrocious.
This is bad.
Yes.
This is bad.jpg. Bad. Anyway.
Do join us next time on Next Review, going back to the Showa era for Inazuman.
Yes. How many episodes does Inazuman have? Let's actually look that up really quickly because I don't know. God, this show really took it out of me. It just wasn't good. It was actually quite, I'm not even going to say depressing. It just wasn't good. It had 2 seasons.
Oh my.
48 episodes over 2 seasons. I guess we'll just do all of them.
That's what we will do. 48 episodes, that's normal length for a show anyway.
I just decided to get Dynaman, because that's after this.
Yes, Dynaman is after that. But that'll be all for us today. If you watched it, do let us know in the comments what you thought. If you didn't, what's an anime you've been watching recently? Let us know that instead. But don't forget to join us on all the things. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.